Do you remember all the celebrities that passed away this year? In 2022, we said goodbye to so many renowned artists, public figures, and cultural icons. Even if we didn't personally know them, their passing can often feel so profound because we remember their legacy and, more than anything, how they made us feel. Whether they're household names, music legends, or cultural pioneers, these stars have no doubt had an impact on us in meaningful ways. I'm your host, Bridget Shields, and here are the top 10 celebrities who have passed away in 2022. Number 10, Sidney Poitier. The trailblazing actor, director, and activist died at his home on January the 6th at the age of 94 from heart failure. According to his death certificate, it is also listed that he had suffered from Alzheimer's, dementia, and prostate cancer over the years. In 1964, Sidney became the first black actor to win an Oscar for Best Actor for his work on the film Lilies of the Field. Beyond acting, he was an advocate who fought for civil rights, often alongside his close friend of nearly 80 years, Harry Belafonte. They helped organize the March on Washington and plan Martin Luther King Jr.'s memorial after his assassination. In an emotional statement posted to Instagram, one of his daughters, also named Sidney, paid tribute to her late dad, saying, "There are no words for this, no real way to prepare for this, no prose beautiful enough, no speech eloquent enough to capture the essence of my dad." She said that his accomplishments quite literally changed the landscape for everyone who came after him. Number 9, Bob Saget. The legendary comedian and actor was found dead in his Florida hotel room on the 9th of January after he performed a comedy show in the area the night prior. In a statement to EW, the family's lawyer Brian H. Bieber indicated that the police records tell the entire story of the Full House star's unexpected death. He said Bob passed away after a fall and hitting his head in his hotel room, confirming the medical examiner's findings that he had died after suffering head trauma. His wife, Kelly Rizzo, then released a statement on Instagram saying, "Bob truly lived life to the fullest. He had so many hardships over the years that he would always tell me, look, life is hard, we need to enjoy it as much as possible, and one of the best ways we did that together was sharing and exploring amazing food around the world. Experiencing simple pleasures in life like that brought him so much joy. I can't even put into words how much I will miss this." Number 8, Andre Leon Talley. The iconic larger-than-life former Vogue editor died at the age of 73 on January the 18th. Talley was a man of grand pronouncements, extravagant capes, and friends in design studios from New York to Paris like Marc Jacobs, Tom Ford, Diane von Furstenberg, Karl Lagerfeld, and many more. When the news of his death from a heart attack broke, many of his friends in fashion and beyond took to social media to express their grief. Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour said, "The loss of Andre is felt by so many of us today. The designers he enthusiastically cheered on every season, who loved him for it, the generations he inspired to work in the industry. Seeing a figure who broke boundaries while never forgetting where he started from. Talley was instrumental to Vogue's vision and direction in the 80s and 90s when he worked his way up the magazine ranks to eventually become the news director. He was the first black man to hold that position in the magazine, and subsequently he was known as the only black person in the front row at fashion shows. He was a real trailblazer." Number 7, Meatloaf. The larger-than-life rocker died on January the 20th at 74 years old. His death was confirmed by his manager Michael Green, although the cause and location were not given. Meatloaf took his stage name from a childhood nickname. It actually came from his father, who gave it to him as soon as he was born. Apparently he was a big baby, and when his father saw him wrapped up in a blanket, he pronounced that he looked like a meatloaf. Eventually he became a multi-platinum selling megastar, whose biggest hits like Bat Out of Hell and Paradise by the Dashboard Light were radio staples for decades. In fact, his 1977 album Bat Out of Hell became one of the best-selling albums of all time, which would go on to sell at least 14 million copies in the US. His first major film role came in 1975 in the cult classic The Rocky Horror Picture Show, where he played delivery boy Eddie. In August last year, he had been in the news complaining about pandemic restrictions, telling the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, "If I die, I die, but I'm not going to be controlled." So he certainly made his feelings clear before he tragically passed. Number 6, Ray Liotta. Deadline reported on May the 26th that the Goodfellas star had passed away in his sleep at the age of 67, leaving behind his daughter Carson and his fiancée JC Nitolo. Ray's last post on Instagram has since been flooded with rest in peace messages from fans. The New Jersey native was born in 1954 and adopted at age 6 months out of an orphanage. Interestingly enough, he always assumed that he was Italian, but when he found his birth parents later in life, he discovered that he's actually Scottish. But he did do an impeccable job playing a lot of Italian-American characters throughout his career, with his breakout role being in the 1990 Martin Scorsese crime classic Goodfellas. Ray's acting career also had a big resurgence in recent years, with films like The Many Saints of Newark, Marriage Story, and No Sudden Move. He even won a Primetime Emmy in 2005 for his guest stint on ER, and was a two-time SAG Award nominee for the 2015 miniseries Texas Rising, so he leaves behind an incredible legacy. Number 5. Ivana Trump. The Czech-American ex-wife of former President Donald Trump died on July the 14th at the age of 73. Paramedics were called to her Upper East Side home over a report of cardiac arrest, but her official cause of death has not yet been confirmed. Ivana married the former US president in 1977, and they then went on to have 3 children together, their daughter Ivanka and sons Eric and Don Jr. Although the couple divorced in 1992, Ivana kept her ex-husband's surname. Trump took to social media to pay tribute to her passing and wrote, "I am very saddened to inform all of those that loved her, of which there are many, that Ivana Trump has passed away at her home in New York City. She was a wonderful, beautiful, and amazing woman who led a great and inspirational life." Eric Trump wrote on Instagram that his mother was a force in business, a world-class athlete, a radiant beauty, and a caring mother and friend. Number 4. Heche. The actress who rose to prominence on the soap opera Another World has passed away at 53 after being involved in a fiery single car crash in LA on August the 5th. According to a coroner's report, Anne died from smoke inhalation and burns. She was in a coma for a week before being taken off life support on August the 14th. News of her car accident and subsequent death really shook Hollywood to its core, as Anne was much beloved in the industry, and her peers came forward recalling her contributions to cinema and the LGBTQ+ community. Director Nathan Scoggins, who worked with her in one of her last films, said, "Anne held nothing back, in life or in performance. She was fearless, going too far in some takes just to make sure that she went far enough. But you can't love without trust, and she loved with her whole heart." Anne had famously dated Ellen DeGeneres, who also expressed her sadness at her ex-girlfriend's passing. She tweeted, "This is a sad day. I'm sending Anne's children, family, and friends all of my love." Number 3. Olivia Newton-John. The Grease star died on the 8th of August after a 30-year battle with breast cancer. The English-Australian singer's death at 73 years old was confirmed by her husband John Easterling. Olivia Newton-John was best known for her portrayal of Sandy in the iconic 1978 musical Grease, alongside John Travolta. Her breathy voice and wholesome beauty made her one of the biggest pop stars in the 70s. She was an incredibly talented singer first and foremost, and sold more than 100 million records over the course of her career, with hits like I Honestly Love You, Hopelessly Devoted to You, and Physical. But behind the curtain of her star-studded life, her health started to deteriorate rapidly. In 2018, Olivia revealed that she was treating cancer at the base of her spine. It was her 3rd cancer diagnosis, following bouts of breast cancer in the early 90s and in 2017. She eventually became a fierce advocate in the fight against the disease and founded the Olivia Newton-John Cancer and Wellness Centre in Melbourne. Number 2. Queen Elizabeth II. The monarch of the United Kingdom and 15 other Commonwealth realms died on September the 8th at the age of 96. Her coronation took place on June the 2nd, 1953 at Westminster Abbey, and for the first time ever was televised, allowing people around the world to witness the event. The Queen's 70-year reign was mostly peaceful, despite vast changes across her country over the decades. Queen Elizabeth surpassed her great-great-grandmother Queen Victoria to become the longest-living British monarch on December the 21st of 2007, and she has been portrayed many times in pop culture. Buckingham Palace released a statement confirming her passing, saying, "The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The news was shocking to the world, as Elizabeth has been around for almost everybody's lifetime and was revered around the world, even outlasting 12 US presidents. She was a tremendously popular and influential figure in her lifetime and stood for stability and order of the crown." Her youngest, formerly known as Prince Charles, has now stepped up and taken the throne as Britain's new reigning monarch. And coming in at number 1, PnB Rock. The rapper and singer was tragically murdered on the 12th of September while dining at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in LA. He was with his girlfriend at the time. LAPD Captain Kelly Muniz told The Times later that day that the intruder shot the victim and ran out the side door to a getaway car and then fled the parking lot. The attacker first demanded jewelry and other valuables before getting into a struggle with the rapper and opening fire. Rock, whose real name was Rakeem Allen, was rushed to the hospital where he died just before 2 p.m. While the attack might have been planned, many people believe it occurred as a result of the rapper being tagged online, as his exact location was shared on the internet via Instagram by his girlfriend minutes before he was attacked. Born on the 9th of December in 1991, Rock was inspired to make music at the age of 19 after hearing Drake's iconic album Take Care. His ability to blend melodies with his rapping made his future in hip-hop extremely promising, and it wasn't long before he captured the world's attention with his musical talent. It was a senseless tragedy and is still under investigation. Well, that's everything that we have on the list for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.